Welcome to Broom Talk, the podcast where witches, healers, and magic makers gather to share their journeys, their magic, and their truths. I'm your host, Priestess Melissa of Enchanted Dragonfly, inviting you to take a seat at the broom circle because the real magic is in the stories we tell. So let's stir the cauldron and speak the spell. So I have a magical spiritual being with me today. So tell us your name.
Myra.
And what is your business name?
It's Myra Astorga. Nothing fancy.
That's all right. Mm-hmm. And could you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Okay, so for years I've been teaching automatic writing. It's developed into more of a meditative writing. I find them very similar. I've been doing it for years, and I've been teaching it mainly in workshop settings. Yeah, like in a classroom setting. Mm-hmm.
That sounds fascinating. And could you talk a little bit about what automatic writing is?
Okay, so I find it very therapeutic. How I practice it and how I teach others to practice automatic writing is I begin with a question. And usually it's a question, it's a lingering questioning, a lingering thought. And most of it is what challenges are you facing right now? Okay, whatever it is, relationship, career, job, money, these are the top five, usually the top four, and you ask the question, and you have to surrender into the writing process so that you're not allowing your mind to do the writing. It is something beyond your mind. In most cases, it is your soul, right? Your core being. But also, we have assistants, we have help. So we have guides and angels that are constantly helping us. So I was raised Christian, so I still sometimes use the Holy Spirit. We surrender to the Holy Spirit, to the spiritual realm. And it is through this channel, it is through you, the channel, where the writing will take place. So the mind is needed for rationalization and reasoning, and also the body is needed for writing. But the data, the insight, the messages comes from beyond ourselves, and we just let it happen. All right, and try not to script it. Try not to control it with your mind, because we run our lives with our mind, which gets us into trouble, right? So this process is to surrender into it. I used to incorporate it with prayer, with meditation and prayer. I still do. I usually meditate prior to the writing. It has helped me tremendously in getting answers. And sometimes the answers that we get is not something we want to hear, because we're conditioned to living our lives in such a standard, our usual way of thinking and behaving. And the writing, the messages, really, it's not the writing, it's the insight, the messages that's coming from beyond ourselves is telling us, it's reminding us, first of all, who we are, okay, and that we got this. And we're also going to show you another way. And are you open? Are you open to taking a look at your life another way? In some cases, it's not really pretty to listen to, because we're so used and we're so stuck into thinking a certain way. But oh my goodness, if you allow yourself to just simply listen, receive that information, and see if you could practice it in your daily life, it has opened many opportunities for me.
That sounds so wonderful.
Soothing and healing.
Nice. That sounds so beautiful.
Yes.
I love that. And where are you located?
So I've been a virtual, hybrid. I partner with many centers, mainly holistic centers. I used to partner with many spiritualist groups. The spiritualists love my work because it's automatic writing. But base-wise, I do things virtually these days. But the workshops are done usually within a collective, a group, a center. They're usually holistic, yoga places love my work. So
nice. Awesome. And how did you start doing what you do?
Okay, so I had an extraordinary spiritual experience 21 years ago. It was in 2004. I was trying to help a friend. I don't have a therapeutic background. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist. And she was in need of help. And I just wanted to soothe her with words, like everything's going to be fine. But I was always, and I still am, a very prayerful person. I've always prayed. So I started asking for help. And I don't know who I would, maybe Mother Mary. I was asking for help from something beyond myself. And we moved into her living room. And she always serves me tea because I'm a tea drinker. And we were on the floor just discussing, having a conversation. And this is when she said, you checked out. You checked out for about 15, 20 minutes. And holy crap, something came through you because everything about you changed. Your voice changed into like a Darth Vader voice and an existence, you know? It was completely different. And she was so scared. She said, oh my God, what is going on here? She was ready to run out of her own house and leave me in this trance state because she was terrified. But something stopped her. Something beyond herself stopped her. And she came back and she just happened to have a notebook and a pen or a pencil with her. And she's opposite from me on that living room floor. And she's terrified, but yet she starts to listen to what's coming through. And she said, after it was all done, she said, it was reminding me of who I was and that I've got this. So that has been my mission statement since 21 years ago is I help you remember who you are. And so that's how it all began, was 21 years ago. I had this experience which left me this ability to verbally channel, to verbally and articulate and convey the insight and messages for me and for so many others. And so I do this in workshops as well as one-on-one session.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful. And the throat chakra is one powerful thing.
Yes.
And I find it fascinating that it's one thing to realize our own experience with something like that and channeling through us, but to hear someone else's perspective that witnessed it is something.
My friend was ready to run out of that house. Yeah.
Well, good thing she did, and it brought you on this path, right?
Yeah.
And what type of practitioner would you say you are?
What I would say, for years I called myself an energy medicine practitioner because of all the training that I did over the years. I did the Reiki initially, and I believe it was 21 years ago when I had my first attunement. Then I went to 3 years of energy medicine school. But in recent years, I had to really contemplate and do some self reflection. It's always been about soul discovery, who we are, why we are as a persona, and why we behave a certain way, which comes from our core being, right? So it's been about self-discovery, soul discovery, self-awareness, and I have been studying over the years certain systems to incorporate that in my practice.
That's wonderful. I love that. And what was your spiritual origin story or an awakening moment?
I think it was that, no, it wasn't 21 years ago. I believe it was in 1990. So was that 35 years ago already? Yeah. 35 years ago, I was living in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was a student at University of Pittsburgh. Again, I was always a prayerful girl because I was Catholic, and all this witchcraft is not allowed.
We've heard.
Okay. And so that's why the channeling was so unique for me, and I wasn't even sure what to do with it. So it was in 1990, and I guess life was getting rough again, but every day seemed rough during my earlier years, right? Like I was like just upset about things so quickly back then. So I just went to church, quiet church, just to go into an empty church and pray. But I was always soul searching. And I remember one day I went into Sacred Heart Church in Pittsburgh, and I kneeled down in front of Mother Mary, but I was talking to God. I think I was talking to God, and I said, God, I don't really know you. I want to get to know you a little bit more. Can you show me the way? And my prayer was answered a week later. I had just come out of an Asian art history class, and I ran into a man. We're still very good friends at this day. And he was a Zen Buddhist. He still is. He lived in the Catskills, I think in the late 70s, early 80s, the Zen Center in the Catskills. And he was the first one that taught me how to sit, how to be quiet, just to simply be still. And he was the first one that taught me about oneness. But Zen Buddhists don't talk anything about spirituality or God. Their practice is being in the moment. Their practice is being still. It's being quiet. So he was the first one to teach me that. And why that was my first real awakening was because I realized that's where all the answer is when you're still and quiet. And this is how I still teach people 35 years later in how to go about getting to know yourself.
I love that. I love that it's you prayed to God and he showed you somebody who is of a totally different religious belief, but with the same core values. And it was a Buddhist man. I find that fascinating. I love that because I think all these beliefs are so similar. It's the details that are different, but they all believe in that same core value, right? Mm-hmm. That's a wonderful story. Yes. I love that. And what is your daily spiritual or magical practice like?
I meditate. I am not one to, I tried years ago after being exposed to Zen Buddhism to sit for 1 hour. It's not necessary. So I will do about 20 minutes in the morning. I do it in the evening. And and during the day, when things are getting overwhelming, I pause and I say a prayer. I picked up a lot of prayers from A Course in Miracles, but sometimes I still even say some of the Catholic prayers that I picked up over the years. And I try to remove the word sin, which means without.
Interesting.
So without, because years ago, I felt that I was without certain things in my life, but not these days. These days, I feel more I have. It's fulfilled, right? But don't tell the Vatican because I've changed, I've edited many of the prayers.
That's okay. You're not preaching to the masses or what, even if you were. Like,
it's for me. They're my prayers.
Your prayers, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fascinating. I love that. And I didn't know that about the word sin, that it meant without. I always had the belief that sin meant something done wrong.
Bad deeds.
But
that's how we were raised too.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. And I also want to add that because we can establish a relationship with our assistants, our non-physical assistants. You can call them guides, angel, whatever word you have for them, if that's even appropriate word to use. I have daily conversations with them quite often. So that's part of my practice, is just to be one with them.
I love that. That's wonderful. Who or what inspires your path the most?
Who or what inspires my path the most? Maybe myself.
Nice.
Maybe myself. I go in a lot, and when I feel that inward urge, I go. And also people, the world. I want to help people know themselves, like wake up. So other people, my friends. Not really my family, because I kept it from them for a long time, because again, we were Catholic, we are still Catholic, and all this stuff isn't really quite approved.
Yes.
Society maybe, but a lot of it is from my inner calling is what motivates me.
Good. Nice. I love that. What was your biggest challenge you faced on your journey, and how did you overcome it?
In my spiritual journey, oh my goodness, there's been a lot of bumps and roads. It was physically challenging. I'll give you one challenge. So years ago, when I used to offer these workshops quite often, I was traveling all over New England. And this is energy work. So when I get into, a full-fledged channeling, it's energy work. So driving back, the marketing, the administrative, the scheduling, is the business aspect is probably the most challenging, but the work is so rewarding that I just did it. All right, I'll drive 40 miles over there. I'll drive 100 miles over there to get the work done, just to do the work because I love it. So that's been the challenging, is the day-to-day task.
Yes.
I think is the challenge that I have. Yeah.
The logistics can be overwhelming sometimes, and sometimes it can leave you thinking like, is this worth it? Yes, it is. Keep going. Yeah, fascinating. What tools, methods, or spirits guide your work?
Tools, methods, or spirit. So let's see. I do a lot of the writing, as I told you. I used to do it every day, but now maybe once, twice, 3 times a week, something comes up, I will do a writing. I read quite a bit. And not just spirituality stuff, but things that are happening in our world. I'm very involved with the happenings, the world affairs, and I constantly ask, like how can we contribute in a positive way? And things are happening for a reason, as they are. I'm very optimistic. Things we'll see the light in pretty soon, hopefully. So tools is meditation. I read a lot, and the writing's really been my biggest tool. Nice. And just getting down sometimes and just pray. Yeah. And prayer is not asking or pleading. It is you connecting with the divine.
Yes.
And gratitude every day. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this cup of tea. Thank you for this place that I live in. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to buy this beautiful painting. Anything that comes up in that moment, I am so thankful for.
Yes, I totally agree. I love gratitude. It's so powerful, and it just keeps you open to more to flow to you as well.
Yeah.
We're grateful. How do you stay energetically protected and grounded?
How do I stay energetically protected and grounded? So I do yoga. I practice yoga, and I make a statement. Like I can't be in that large group right now. How I do it, I know what's going on with me or in me, and I will avoid certain crowds and situations and events because I might get too captured into it. Yes. Okay. But also I take care of my body. I try to eat well. I go to the gym or the YMCA 3-4 times a week. Wonderful. Movement is really good. Yeah. Movement. I do a lot of cardio, dance, water. Yes. Water. So in the winter there's a pool, but in the summer, we have access to the beach. So that's all part of the protection, the self-protection habits or practice.
Awesome. They sound great. Yeah. I love it. And then you feel good doing those. Yeah. That's good. Good. What is one common misconception about your craft or your work?
That it's, I used to not like the word occult. Yeah. Okay. Because I thought it was years ago, maybe because again, in my upbringing, I thought it meant like dynamic. It's not, it's mystical, it's spiritual. And so I learned over the years not to let that word bother me. The reason is because all the years I was teaching automatic writing, people would say, that's scary stuff. I'm like, what is scary about it? If you allow it to be scary, it will be scary. If you already have that pre-notion before going in, that it's going to be weird or not sacred, then that's going to be your practice, right? So misconceptions, people basing their own opinion because maybe they had a certain experience, and that's okay. You can share what experience you had, but I want to teach it to you in a more positive way, in a positive way, that this is very therapeutic. So it's a misconception, and all of us that are involved in this work, we are misunderstood. Like, what are you people doing over there? We're trying to help ourselves and other people. So that's the challenge. Yeah. Or the what did you say?
Misconception. Yeah. 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 I agree. And I feel like a lot of it is lack of education, or lack of knowing it or understanding it. And they just go by snippets of information here and there, what society as a whole is saying. And I think if people slow down a little bit more and learned a little bit about it, they wouldn't think so scary or dark or bad or anything or what have they. Can you share a powerful or a memorable client transformation?
I think let's use Julie, because Julie. So Julie Vinson, she owns, and the founder of Dragonflies and Amber in Sutton, Massachusetts. She just came up in my mind. She went to a workshop of mine. This is like early in my career when I did it when I initially went public, right? Not dragonflies. It was State of Grace Yoga and Wellness in Uxbridge, Massachusetts. I offered a channeling workshop, and back then I was still channeling like "Good evening," And she came in and she remembers what she heard, and she wrote it down, and she took the message or the messages from that evening, and look what she did. She manifested it into form, right? And she built dragonflies in amber. And it has grown over the years, and practitioners such as myself were involved in this. So that's a good example. There were others, but I want to bring up Julie because she just came up right now and we both know her.
Yes. And it's a reason why something pops in your head. That's the message. So that's awesome. What sacred self-care practices keep you aligned?
Sacred self-care practices is the meditation and the daily prayer.
Good. Yeah. Nice.
And walking meditation. So I walk quite a bit. I go to Fatima Shrine in Holliston, and it's just me, myself. I walk quietly. So silent meditative walks is another practice.
That's fascinating. And that's good. Something good to do, especially if you're very restless. But you want to meditate too, because sometimes people have trouble sitting still. But if you go to a safe place, like a park or what have you, and you can take that walk and do your meditation at the same time, that's a good idea. Yeah. What does success look like to you as a spiritual business owner?
Success, success is a funny word, right? Coming from 30 years in corporate, success had this profitable association with it. No, success is helping yourself grow as an individual, number one, knowing yourself. And I know this is commonly used in our community, but the purpose, like, do you know what your purpose is? And also, like the success of others, such as Julie Vinson, her practice, her center has grown, her community has grown. So being part of that success or part of that growth feels successful to me.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, community is important for sure. And do you follow the moon, astrology, or seasonal cycles in your work?
I started to a few years ago. It was astrology. I really dived in early this year with all the changes in our world, right? So it was probably maybe it began a year ago, but this year I really started learning it, and took courses. So that's astrology. What was the other one you said? Astrology?
Moon cycle, moon or seasonal cycles?
Yeah, moon cycles I definitely do. So we used to participate in all the moon lodges. Yeah, that's been years of practice. I follow the moon. Like there's a new moon coming up this Saturday. Yeah, absolutely. In the season, I love to practice all the equinoxes. Yeah, so we did this in the solstice. We actually celebrated summer solstice. Nice. So yes, the answer is yes. I practice all of that.
Nice. And they're fascinating times, and they really affect us.
Yes, so absolutely.
What's something you wish more people knew about energy work, divination, what have you?
So that it's not woo-woo, whatever your term is for woo-woo, right?
That cracks me up, the woo-woo.
Yeah, the woo-woo. I heard it years ago, and I'm like, what does that mean? What?
I immediately think of sirens when the
woo-woo. So that it's practical. It can definitely be used in practical ways. It's a healing process. It's also, it helps with your psyche. It helps with your mental state. It helps with your body, and it allows you to connect with the deepest part of who you are, and also with us, with the rest of humanity. So that's what it is for me.
Yeah, absolutely. The woo-woo. It cracks me up. If you could give one piece of advice to someone just starting their path, what would it be?
I would say write down, why do I want to do this? Yeah. Is this a calling? Is this an urge? Because if you're getting that feeling, you're most likely getting called to do something, to get involved. And you may not want to run your own practice, perhaps because many people just want to be part of a community, such as this place, or Dragonflies and Amber, to be part of a community, because that's what they serve. They serve the community. So start that way, be part of a community, and learn from the other practitioners, the people that, recently began, or for those of us that have been doing this for years and decades, and see where it leads you. So, but you got to first ask yourself, is this something that I really want to do? Am I committed to this?
Yeah, that's good advice. And what magic are you currently brewing in regards to, like, if you're going to any events or anything like that? I know sometimes we release things quietly until they're actually released, but if there's anything that you would like some customers or followers or clients to know.
Oh, okay. So I will be offering a meditative writing class on September 13th at Dragonflies and Amber, for those of you that are local here in Massachusetts. It's Saturday, September 13th, and I will teach you how to get quiet and how to listen and receive your insights, your data, whatever it is that you're asking for. It will come through you if you allow it to happen. I will, in the near future, I've also started to study and practice the human design, share it with others, the human design system. It's a very practical and mechanical approach, and that's coming up soon.
Oh, those sound fascinating, both of those. Nice. And now I have some fun questions for you. What is your sun, moon, and rising sign, if you know it?
You know what? I just found out what it is, but I forgot what they are. Sorry.
What about your sun sign? That's the sign you were born in. Do you know that one?
Oh yeah. It's the Taurus. Yeah.
Nice. Oh my God, it's a Taurus.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think Venus is the moon. Is that right?
It might be. It's usually a zodiac sign for the moon.
Okay, then I don't know what it is. Yeah.
I can run your chart for you if you like.
No, actually, I have it written down somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Because I kept it. I just don't. Usually, people don't ask me that question.
That's right. I know. See somebody in the grocery store.
Yeah.
By the way,
what's your sign?
Yeah. 70s pickup lines.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite crystal, herb, or tool that you always work with?
I just love the selenite. I remember years ago, I attended my first selenite class. She literally used selenite in the sound healing. And I think that's when I first fell in love with it. So I don't buy the big ones. I just buy the small ones that I could put on a table.
Nice.
Yeah.
Selenite's nice. And what is your magical nickname or archetype you resonate with most?
Okay, so I've had quite a few. So, well, the first one, when I started channeling years ago, and it was in a small office in Douglas, Massachusetts, when it was just a handful of us, what kept coming through, I kept being referred to as our wholesome friend. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm that wholesome, our wholesome friend. And then years later, somebody was in my channeling session, and because I like to write on the board now, I actually channel instructor style. I'm up, walking, pacing as the data is coming through, as the participants are asking questions and doing their work. I'm writing on the board. So someone referred to it as whiteboard wisdom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So those are the two that are coming up right now.
Nice. Those are fun.
Yeah.
Tea or tincture?
Tea.
Tarot or runes?
Tarot.
Cauldron or candle?
Candle.
If your spirit guide had a voice, what would it sound like?
Oh, it sounds masculine.
Nice.
I was going to say Darth Vader, but it scares people.
James Earl Jones. It sounds like James Earl Jones. That would actually be funny.
Yeah.
And do you have any pets?
No, I'm allergic.
Oh, you
yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
What about a fish?
I did years ago when I was little.
So those were all the questions that I had for you. Was there anything else that you wanted to add or talk about?
No, thank you. This was a great opportunity. I had just met Melissa a little while ago, and I said, sure, I'll do a podcast, and here I am. So
a couple days later.
Yeah, a couple days later. So thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Well, thank you. It was my honor to have you.
Thank you.
She has an Instagram page. I'm going to post it in the description. Go check her out. Take one of her classes at Dragonflies and Amber. I think I'm going to sign up for some of those myself. And as always, come check us out at Enchanted Dragonfly, 99 Church Street, Whitinsville, Massachusetts. And give this podcast episode a like, help us grow, follow the channel, subscribe. Your attention and your subscription to the channel and liking these episodes help us keep going and grow. And we appreciate you. Love you all. Bless be. Bye, guys.
Thank you.